Alright, what's going on, guys? Let me get this quickly started in a second and get everything ready. I'm looking on possibly taking GJ back short right now. Excuse me, GU. But I'm gonna wait for a second and see what we do here. What the fuck? Spotify, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, Spotify, what the fuck? Alright, so, I mean, we've had a pretty good trading session. Alright, so, yeah, we've had a pretty good trading session. I'm actually very, I'm very thankful, right? So, I mean, it's been fucking really, it's summer trading. It's always going to be fucking choppy, right? This week has been kind of a little bit different for me. All my signals have been profitable, but I've had kind of the confidence on my signals. It hasn't been really well on my confidence level this week. That's why, just because of the level of course, me coming back from trading. This is my first week coming back from trading for my vacation, and so, you know, I'm not all the way there mentally. We're in a matter of sense of being really focused in trading, and I have so much things going on in my life that I haven't been really too focused on trading this week, and so my level of confidence has been kind of, you know, lower than normal. But my signals have all been profitable this week, and so I'm definitely thankful about that. So, looking at, you know, our signal coming on GJ. So initially we had a kind of move happening on gold. So let me see. Trading view real quick. So on gold we saw a potential long opportunity, and I'll show you guys where I took that long. As soon as we get to below this thing. Alright, so Zhao. So right now gold is coming back up, so I'm not gonna take this long. But I mean, there's a lot of opportunities on here. So looking at let's go to the 15-minute. So looking at the 50-minute chart, you know, we were coming back on, so I took a long right over here, so we were kind of bouncing away from the 800 EMA yesterday during the session, right? And so we saw that, and you know, basically we saw an opportunity to take it short. I'm actually going to go short right now in GU, kind of a swing trade. I'm just going back short again. Alright, I'm going back short on GU for a swing trade on the higher time frames again. I'm risking about 0.25% on this trade, so it's basically nothing. But anyway, so just looking at this real quick. Alright, so anyways, so we were looking at gold for a long in the beginning of the session, so on basically Asian session. So we saw a bounce off the 800 EMA, so that was like the primary level right over here with divergence here. So I was looking for a bounce off that, right? So where is that? So yeah, we took this bounce right over here. Reason why I like taking that, I took that bounce, is because we were off a Fibonacci level right over here. So we're off a Fibonacci level right there, so I like that. Plus we had divergence here, so I took that because we had divergence as well. So as price action is falling, our side is rising. So we saw that. I like that opportunity. So I took it short. I mean, I took it long, excuse me. And then, you know, basically on the break of the 800 EMA, I was looking for kind of an entry off that 50 EMA because I knew that there's a potential on basically, you know, taking its sweet time. So for me, I was going to be patient with it. But basically, I took on the break of the 50, and you know, it went about a little bit more than 1 hour. I locked myself a break even on my, like, you know, smaller entry. So I took a very small entry on this. The reason why is because I was gonna take my bigger entry on the break of the 800 EMA, and so you know, it wasn't able to break above the 800 EMA. So basically, I got stopped out of break even on this trade. So you know, it was a small kind of break even trade. And then as it basically later on in the session just kind of continued going down. So for me, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna look at something else. So that's whenever I was looking at GJ for potential opportunities. So what I like about GJ is because you know, I initially saw that I didn't like the initial long right over here off this level. So you can see that price action had divergence here. So I didn't like that opportunity long. The reason why is because, you know, looking at the TDI and RSI, I feel like that we had a potential on breaking that level fairly easy and coming lower. So for me, I was like, I didn't have a lot of confidence in taking this short. It was off the 50 EMA, but I wanted more confirmation in my end. So we didn't see that, right? But as it broke toward that level, right, then I had more confidence because, you know, that gave me a little bit more confidence in, you know, the RSI and TDI basically moving further down. So, you know, looking at the TDI and MACD at that point, I knew that, you know, the most likely scenario is that we won't see a big bounce off this level right over here. We're probably going to continue going lower for a short period of time and then continue going higher. So that was my initial idea, right? And so as it came all the way up here, I saw that we kind of stalled right over here, which was quite interesting. I saw that, you know, price action saw a big kind of red move right over here and then basically a quick bounce, and basically just it held this level really well. So I looked at on the 50-minute chart. I liked how we were off kind of this little area of kind of a where buyers and sellers had trouble basically coming in. So this is like kind of I would say an order block, not a very good order block, but I would say this is an area of value toward this area where this big wick came over here and then all the way up here. So I call this a very good value area. So I saw that price action was basically bouncing off that level. Right, so that's, you know, that's fairly good. And then we saw that, you know, basically we had a Fibonacci extension right over here. So it's off the 62% Fibonacci extension. So I like that. I like that level of confidence. We're basically at that level of opportunity where price action was bouncing off that, I guess you could say, order block and that Fibonacci level. Plus, you know, there wasn't no divergence. So that's something that, you know, I didn't get more confidence on that. But at the same time, I did like that. It was still a primary level. I mean, a level 1 reset, because we've been having level 1 resets on the break of the 50s right over here. Just a lot of, so this is the first primary level 1 all the way dating back right over here. So for me, I like that opportunity. I didn't take a big risk on it because, of course, it was Asian session, and you know, I wanted at least divergence before I was going to take a little bigger risk. So I took about a 1/4% risk. So not a big chunk. And so I took that trade, and basically on the break of the 50 EMA, it kind of made a higher low. It bounced off the Fibonacci level right over here on the 62% extension, and then yeah, so it bounced off that level, and basically it just continued going up. Just a very nice kind of momentum on that part. Comes up later on. I basically fell asleep, and it basically comes down again here and literally bounces off that same level that price action bounced right over here, which is quite interesting in how price action, you know, keeps on respecting those levels, right? So it bounced off that same level, and then basically comes up and just basically throughout London session, it just gives you a very nice momentum, bullish momentum toward the upside. So my initial target was up in the previous higher, previous high, which is right over here. So that was my initial kind of take profit, right? And you can see how it just basically hit that fairly easy and continue going higher to approximately about 7 Rs. So with that entry, that's a very nice entry risk reward ratio right there. You know, a little bit choppy later on, but I call this a kind of a liquidity spike, because this is during you know, London session, you know, on the opening of London session right over here. So, you know, a little quick liquidity spike until eventually it kind of bounces off that and continues going higher. So I mean, very nice risk reward, very nice entry. I think I think this is one of the best entries by far this week, in amount of risk to reward ratio. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy about that. I could have definitely done a little bit better in the matter of kind of my risk management and adding a little bit more risk to it. But hey, it is what it is. I'm happy. It was a good winner. Good, what is it? All the way up to about 40 pips right there. So yeah, that was a very nice, very nice entry right there. And then so looking up right over here, looking at the collapsing dragon on Nasdaq 100. So this is my entry that I took literally in a couple minutes ago. So what I was looking at basically is I was mentioning in the chat that I had a potential, it looked kind of bullish, but for me I saw that my spidey senses are telling me that we might come lower, right? And the reason why I say that is because just looking at previous kind of patterns in the past, knowing the Nasdaq and indices, I know how they work, I know how they kind of move on a daily basis. And whenever I'm seeing kind of weakness on the pre-market session, like we saw right here, we're bouncing up, but we're seeing a lot of weakness. And on the higher time frames, we see that the the momentum, the liquid 50 or whatever, is weakening as well, decaying, right? I saw that, so for me, I thought, okay, this is a good, maybe a very good opportunity to take it short. So in my mind, I was looking for possibly a collapsing dragon off, 200 EMA or the 50 EMA. So I mentioned that. I was like, okay, if we on the Dow Jones, if we continued on basically, because the Dow Jones was the most bullish indices out of today for sure, because the liquid 50 was up in the buy zone, so was the MACD above the summer. So for me, I was thinking maybe I could see a quick bounce off the pivot and 50 EMA, maybe a quick 1 or 2R if I took it long. But today, Nasdaq for sure was the most bearish kind of indices because we were in the sell zone. MACD was fairly in the winter zone, winter and spring, majority below the zero line. So it was obviously a little bit more bearish than Dow 30. So I mentioned here, took a break of the 100 EMA right over here. There was divergence right there. So I mean, what I liked about this is we had divergence. Like not only did on the market open, whenever market open happened, right, and we came up. So I mean, this is a pattern that I've always seen. If you trade indices for quite a long time, you'll see these patterns daily, where price action comes up and then basically stalls at a specific level, right? And basically it fails to move higher. There's divergence. That's a very nice scenario where price action will basically collapse at that kind of level and continue going down. So that's exactly what we saw here, and that's the same kind of pattern whenever you see markets going down. Whenever the market comes down, you'll see kind of a stall at a level and basically push back up after the market open, after pushing lower. So that's what we saw. We saw a collapsing dragon right over here. There's divergence, and what I liked specifically, not only was there was divergence, the TDI and MACD was decaying, which is really quite nice. I love that. Whenever I'm seeing that TDI and MACD confirmation right there. But what I like specifically is that looking at the 30-minute chart, we were making lower highs, right? Clearly lower highs. So lower high, and then we kind of came up here, made a lower high, and then on the market open, you can see how these wicks basically came all the way up right over here, and then basically just collapsed like that. And so for me, I was looking at those wicks respecting this previous structure and making lower high, and that's exactly what we did. We saw price action coming up and respecting that and making a lower high as we speak, closing below the previous structure. And I mean, just beautiful right there. You can see how the 21.8 EMA beautifully comes down like that. And so there's divergence not only off right over here on the 1 minute chart, but it was divergence off the 30-minute 50 EMA, as well as making a lower high. So I mean, you can't get anything better. You can't get better than that. That's like a, like if I know my collapsing dragon system is quite new to most people in the course or whatever. I mean, it's not new for me because I've been trading it for quite a while. But you could also think of this as a primary level 1 off the 30-minute 50 EMA. Because there's divergence. You're taking the break of the 800 EMA, 30-minute 50 EMA right there for confirmation for your level, and then you're seeing MACD and TDI decaying as well toward your favor. I mean, it's pretty easy in my opinion. This is one of the easiest trades that I've taken this month by far. In the matter of sense where the setup was there, it's clean, and literally in a matter of what, fucking 3 minutes, literally 3 minutes, I made about 2R. So I mean, it was really quick, and that's something that I absolutely love about these kind of setups, is because I can make a lot of money very quickly and basically be done for the day. So I mean, just fucking phenomenal right there. But I could see Nasdaq. I could see the Nasdaq continue going down, probably later on the day toward the 200 EMA and possibly ADR. For me, I didn't want to hold a piece because it's summer trading, so I want to basically get in and out fairly quickly and not hold a piece. At least for right now, that's basically how I've changed my trading style recently during the summer months. Is not fairly holding a lot of trades, but basically taking my profits at 2R, 3R. So you can see how the TDI right over here, MACD, was very beautiful on that confirmation on the 30-minute. Not only did we have divergence right there, but we saw the TDI and MACD decaying as well toward our favor, toward our direction, right? So, I mean, just a very nice setup, right? I mean, I can't really complain about it. I mean, it's one of those trades that it's a very beautiful setup, right? So yeah, I can't really complain about it. And that's pretty much it. We took a collapsing dragon right over here short, and it turned out to be very, very, very beautiful in our favor. About literally all the way down toward this wick, about 3.28R, which is fucking insane. Literally in a matter of what, couple of minutes, it goes down like that. 71 points, which is fucking phenomenal, right? And you can see that on the 15-minute chart. You can just kind of appreciate this kind of big ass candle that happened right over here, from the entry right over here toward all the way over here. And you can see how collapsing the entry is still continuing going down. So I could see, like I said again, I could see it coming all the way down toward the 800 EMA today on the 15-minute chart right over here. I could see that for sure. I think that's a very good possibility. And the reason why I'm not looking for continuous longs right now is because we're so overbought on the higher time frames. Now I'm not a predictor, right? I don't fucking know anything about what's gonna happen in the next couple of years, or next couple of weeks, or next couple of days, what price action is gonna do. But looking at past price action data and past patterns, price action has literally had some trouble, coming back up, and we've been seeing these flash crashes, right? So for me, those flash crashes tell me an indication that price action is a little bit more volatile toward the upside. So we're most likely going to continue going down, maybe toward a level, and then maybe continue going up, and process the same patterns over and over again. So for me, especially last week, I was looking at patterns where price action will give me those flash crashes. And last week it wasn't a really good week for those kind of patterns, because we can see that price action just bounced off the 200 EMA right over here and basically continue going higher, which is a fucking phenomenal. How much is this? 526 points. So I mean, that's fucking phenomenal, right? But in the matter of the higher time frames, we'll see what we do here. I still think that we need a correction. We're definitely in need of a big correction, or basically a reset toward the mean reversion on the higher time frames. The reason why I say that is because again, we're so overbought right now. We're just so highly valued that here, excuse me, with with COVID and stuff like that. Actually, what was it, like fucking last year, whenever we saw COVID, that catalyst coming in, and how basically the markets were very volatile and very reacted toward that catalyst. So we need kind of a big catalyst for that, for something like that to happen, where we see kind of a big correction, maybe 10%, 15%, 20%. And then once we see that, then I'll have more confidence on buying it even more, and buying it aggressively, like I have been last year. And now that I have more experience in my hands, and I'm sure I can make a lot more money than I did last year as well. But yeah, I mean, just a very nice trade. Alright, so that's pretty much it for today's little kind of live stream. I just basically wanted to point out, my trade on Nasdaq 100, and of course, my gold trade and my GJ trade. My gold trade was at break evens, which was fine for me, and then my GJ trade went about 7R into profit. And yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm pretty much pretty much done for the day. Pretty much done trading for the week, possibly as well, because I'm not really looking for any. I don't think we're going to see any like very good setups happening tonight or tomorrow. So basically, this could be my last trade on Nasdaq 100. So yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, hopefully you guys are learned something in this little quick kind of live stream. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Hopefully tomorrow I can maybe give shoot like a quick live stream as well.